The Wrangler 4xe is Jeep's most technologically advanced Wrangler to date. The question is, did they put it where it counts? And does this make it the off-road 4x4 to beat in 2021? Let's start with the powertrain. The 4xe Wrangler is powered by a 2-liter turbocharged inline 4-cylinder engine sourced from Alfa Romeo. On its own, it generates 270 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque. Combined with 2 electric motors, one at 44 horsepower and the second at 134 horsepower, and this gas-electric power unit will produce 375 horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque. To put some perspective on this, the Wrangler Rubicon 392 concept with its 6.4-liter V8 produces 450 horsepower and 450 pound-feet of torque. This is 75 horsepower more than the 4xe, but 20 pound-feet of torque less. The 4xe is also more powerful than the Wrangler diesel and more powerful than the 2021 Bronco with its 2.7-liter EcoBoost engine, cranking out 310 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. Now, I realize we're not looking at a head-to-head comparison here. Just saying, if you're looking for the biggest numbers from a 2021 off-roader, the 4xe just raised the bar. It uses a standard Wrangler 8-speed transmission, but that's where most of the similarities end. There's no torque converter, but instead a high-voltage electric motor generator called the P2 hybrid. It allows the 4xe to be driven in gas assist mode, electric only mode with a 25-mile range, or electric saver mode, which means gas only, saving the electric power up until you want to use it, like for crawling off-road. What does all this mean to the driver on-road? The 4xe should achieve 0 to 60 miles an hour in 6 seconds, yet deliver the equivalent of 50 miles per gallon in normal daily driving. In the fuel-saving 2-wheel drive high gear range, the 4xe should be able to travel up to 400 miles with a full tank of gas and a full charge in the battery. These numbers are better than the closest hybrid competitor, the Range Rover. Off-road, it gets even more interesting. Traditional gas and diesel engines have to rev up to generate the torque needed for starting, climbing, and crawling. But electric motors deliver maximum torque right from a dead stop. This means it should be stellar for rock crawling and trail riding. In fact, Jeep says that for off-road, the hardware, software, and calibrations provide a more controlled and precise driving experience for climbing up or crawling over obstacles. There's also no mechanical starter. The front of the engine has a motor generator that delivers extra torque to the crankshaft, and it's used to start the engine and operates the auto stop start. By the way, if 4x4 is what you love to drive or plan to drive, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss a new episode from us here at 4-Wheel Drive Magazine. Power for the electric motors comes from a 400-volt lithium-ion battery rated at 17 kilowatts. It has its own heating and cooling systems. The cooling is tied into the refrigerant in the air conditioning system. FCA says the battery will last the life of the Jeep, but they don't say how long that life is. Do they mean the design life of the 2-liter gas engine, the time it takes before a major overhaul? Or is it measured in hours of use, or like other batteries by the number of recharges? Regardless, the battery is tucked safely away under the rear seat, and you can get to it by folding the rear seat bottoms forward. Everything is engineered waterproof and reinforced, as the 4xe still maintains the Wrangler's 30 inches of water-fording ability. Like many hybrids, it uses regenerative braking to charge the batteries, but it also has a manually selectable max regen. When this is turned on, you effectively have one pedal driving, as getting off the gas feels just like putting on the brakes. If braking isn't enough to charge the batteries, you can plug them in. At home, it takes about 12 to 13 hours on a standard household current, or you can do it in 2 hours if you have a high voltage level 2 charger. Unfortunately, the Wrangler isn't equipped to handle the fastest level 3 fast charging systems, which means they could be done in up to 15 minutes. Similar to the non-E Wrangler, the Rubicon maintains its 10.8 inches of ground clearance, and all 4xe get the same Dana 44 solid rear axles and front axles. The entry-level model is simply called the 4xe, and it, along with the Sahara, get open diffs or an available track lock limited slip, while the Rubicon 4xe gets true lock electronic rear and front locking diffs. Max towing and payload numbers are similar to the regular Wrangler at 3,500 pounds towing and 1,278 pounds payload. The payload number is odd since the hybrid system adds about 400 pounds compared to the 3.6 liter V6. We'll have to follow up with Jeep on how that's done. The hybrids look the same as other Wrangler JLs, with the exception of some blue badging added to the vehicle, like on the hood, blue front and rear tow hooks, and a few other subtle places. The cowl-mounted charging port on the driver's side clearly says, "I'm a hybrid." Wrangler 4xe is the third 7-slat grille hybrid released, coming after the Renegade and the Compass, which came out earlier this year, but only in Europe. Pricing has yet to be released for this new Wrangler. In the Ram 1500, e-torque adds about $1,450 US over the 5.7 liter Hemi. But the 4xe has a different and more complex system, so we expect to see an even bigger bump in the MSRP. Does the most technologically advanced mean overcomplicated? What's your take on a hybrid for off-roading in a 4x4? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, share it. Smash that like button, and if you want to see more, please subscribe and ring that bell so you're the first to know when a new video comes out. Until next time, stay safe, and we'll see you on the trails.